Hey everyone, this is Mazen, and today we're going to be talking about action strings too. So this is a well-known phrase-based library, and it has been out there for a few years now, but it had tons of updates since its release. So I'm basically making this video to help you decide whether this is something for you, is it going to be useful to you, should you be buying this or not. So I wrote this short demo here. I'm going to let you listen to it real quick. So I'm going to show you how I use the library to write this, and I'm going to explore it with you step by step. And we're going to answer a very important question. Is this considered cheating? So if you like this content and you enjoy our videos, please make sure you subscribe, as this helps us making more videos for you. And if you want to get the library, I'll leave the link in the description below. And enough chit-chatting, let's dive right into it. Alright, so this is the main page that comes up when you first open up the library. This is where you choose your themes and phrases from. So if you want to change the theme that you have here, you press on the theme name and you get about 240 phrases, 240 themes, I'm sorry. And if you want to listen to how these sound, you can just click on it and it's going to preview how it sounds. So let's listen. And these are sorted by time signature, feel, ensemble, whether the lead is playing in the high ensemble or the low ensemble, and also by category here. So whatever you like from here, you can just double click on it and it's going to change the theme. And each one of these themes comes with a different variation, with different variations. So there is a main variation, first, second, and third variation. And these are mapped to key switches. So I'm gonna have a single note of C5 here, and I'm going to trigger the key switches below, and I'm going to show you how it works. So let's play it. So yeah, this is how you use the variations down below here, and you can also solo the high ensemble only and the low ensemble. So this is the high ensemble only. This is the low ensemble only. And you can play them together, of course. So the rest of the key switches down below are the single articulations, and this is the main difference between Action Strings 2 and 1. Action Strings 1 came with a single articulation, but Action Strings 2 comes with 6 different articulations. It comes with staccato, marcato, sustains, tremolos, and fills. So let's give a listen to each one of them. This is the staccatos, marcatos. These are velocity dependent. And the sustains here, you can control the dynamics by the mod wheel, and the same for the tremolos, trills. Yeah, so these are all the single articulations that you get. You also get staccatissimo, I'm pretty sure, but it's not found in this theme here. So this is probably the main page, and this is everything you need to know, except for a single addition that was added in the latest update, 2.2. This was actually requested by one of the composers that reviewed this plugin, Daniel James, and they responded to his request and added the scale function that you get here. So if you have any chromatic scale or any major scale that you want to make it minor, or vice versa, you can lock your phrases here or your theme, the whole sequencer, to a specific scale. So here's a quick sample for how you use the scale function. This theme here is played in minor. This is how it sounds. If you turn on the scale function and you choose major, for example, it's going to play this in major, and it's going to lock it in major scale. You don't have to edit it in the editor page manually. So this is without and with. So this is really, really useful. The last function in the page here is the export MIDI function, and I'm gonna get to that later in the video, but it's found here. You also get to change your note release. It's on default at 700 milliseconds. I prefer it at 300-ish, just to not have any kind of tail. And you can also change the tempo of your phrase if you want it double speed or half speed. Moving on to the mixer page, you get 5 different mic positions: mix, close, spot, tree, and far. And you can solo each one of these, and you can tweak them according to your taste, according to the character that you're going for. So let me give you a listen to how each one of them sound, but I'm gonna turn off the reverb so you can notice the difference. So let's make sure we have a phrase on. Okay, these are the closed mics. You can control the volume and the panning. So and this is the spot mic. Tree. The four mic. So you can mix these together however you want. If you want a delicate close sound, or if you want a far huge holy sound, and yeah, you can use this page to do that. I'm gonna leave it on the mix for now. And you also get the global effects on the right here. You get an equalizer, so if you want to make your phrase brighter, if you want to make it warmer, yeah, so this is the equalizer here. There's also a reverb that you get with the library there. Thing concert, small room, chamber, and cathedral. And this is the reverb. I'll be honest, I prefer to add my own reverb, and I'm gonna tell you later in the video why is this, but let's leave it off for now. Okay, the most important page in the library here is the editor, where you customize your phrases however you like. You can change the notes, the velocity of the notes, like the dynamics of the notes, and you also get to change the type of note. So this is a 16th notes. You get rhythms here. These are called modules, and the phrases are made of like small modules, and this is how you customize your phrases. So diatonic figures, maybe we can add this. So this is how you customize your phrase. This is where you do it. And if you want to change, for example, the key or the position of any of these notes, for example, if I'm playing a C here, a C. If I want to make these like 4 notes here, a D, I can do this. This number here is the amount of semitones above or below the root note that you're playing. So if I'm playing a C, 0 means it's C. If I'm playing +2 here, means 2 semitones above C, so I'm playing a D. So this is a C, D, D, D. So yeah, this is the most important thing about the editor that you should know. You get 2 other modes, arpeggio and custom, but I don't find much use to them. So let's keep it in the melodic now. You can also change the time signature here. And if you want to play double octaves, so if you're holding a single note and you activate this, it's going to play it in octaves. You also can copy the small modules here. You can choose to copy the module alone or the module alongside the dynamics by the transparent key here. You can copy it here and then paste it wherever you want with the other button. You can also delete whatever you note that you don't like here with the eraser. So this is how you use the editor, and when you're done with any phrase that you like, you can just save it here. Okay, so here is how I used action strings to write this demo I showed you at the beginning of the video. So what I do with action strings in general, I just, I keep scrolling through the different presets here. There are tons of presets that you can scroll through here, and I keep playing with them until I find something that really grabs my attention. Okay, so while playing with these presets, I came upon specific presets. the hook that I built the entire demo on is let's listen to it alone here. And this was based on a preset that I heard. So I think it was called yeah, Beyond Control. This was the one. And in this preset, I liked the low ensemble rhythm here. So I just soloed the low ensemble, and this is how it sounds. So I just went to the editor, and I didn't like this, you know, very gradual velocity thing that's going on with dynamics here. So I just, you know, changed the phrases to normal singles like this. And I changed some of the notes here. So if I go to the other editor, you see that, um, you know, I increased some of these single semitone, and the last note is playing a an E flat. Okay. So also in the second bar, I removed this gradual dynamics thing, and I added the same single notes here as you see here. And then at the end, I removed these two notes and I added this glissando at the end. And this glissando is actually what made me write the demo in the first place. It grabbed my attention. It sounded very, very cool. And I'll tell you what I did with it right away. So, what I did is I felt like it wasn't biting enough in the mix, the glissando at the end, especially that this glissando's effect are only found, the crescendos effect are only found in the low ensemble. So if I go to the high ensemble here, there are no crescendos. So I cannot have this glissando at a higher octave. So what I did here was go to the, you know, low ensemble, and I used the marker above here, and I selected the part that plays this module only, and then I went to the piano roll. I added the note for only for the duration of the glissando here, so this way. And I recorded this and I bounced it to a wave file. So the reason I bounced it to a wave file is because I wanted to be more present and more hard in the mix. So I increased its levels, and then I also added an EQ, made it more brighter, and I also added a bit of distortion, a very subtle distortion here, to also push it a little bit in the mix. So this is how it sounds. And the next step I did was I cloned this same glissando and I added it at the end of the next bar, and I pitched it down 3 semitones. So it sounds like this. This is the first bar. And that was the whole idea of the whole demo. So in the next section here, the strings became a bit higher. They played higher octaves. So the glissandos started to disappear or sink in the mix. So what I did is just I cloned it and I pitched it above an octave, and this is how it sounds. The high pitched glissandos sound a bit artificial and sound a bit stretched, so I just toned it down a bit so that maybe you can hear it when it's soloed here, but in the mix it doesn't really, it is not noticeable to whoever hears it. So with the pattern, this is how it sounds. Okay, here's what I like the most about this export MIDI function. First of all, the MIDI that you're exporting, you have to remember that is not just applicable to Action Strings 2 instances, or even strings only. You can use these MIDI rhythms or whatever you exported in other instruments, like in any section of your orchestra, not just orchestras. You can even use it on drums, percussion, any type of instrument, even on a guitar riff. So when scrolling through the editor modules here, I found very interesting runs, and these are actually the best part about this plugin. The runs in general, this section here, like the rest, you can do that. You can try to achieve this with other libraries with a bit of a meticulous programming, but the runs here are really sounding very cool, and I personally like this one in general. This run 8. This one in particular, I decided to use it on other instruments. So let me show you what I did here. I, pressed on the export. First, let me load it first into the editor page here. Okay, and then we're gonna press on export, and then we're gonna play a note of this duration. And then we're gonna go export it to the woodwinds, for example. Here, yeah. And then let me put it up an octave, for example, and this is how it sounds. These Harry Potter theme vibes or adventurous Jumanji vibes with the woodwinds, these very cool runs. And I actually use this in an arrangement here. Let me show you. Oh yeah, I forgot to unmute it. And I even use this on the harp here. But you have to be very careful when using these runs on the harps, because harps have, specific notes that you can play to be realistic, because a harp player can do the same runs that you do on a piano. So here are my final thoughts about this library. I think the quality of the sound of the single articulations is alright, but it's definitely not the best out there. It can give you this machine gun effect even when you try to humanize the velocities. So I believe the sound of the phrases is much more authentic and natural in my opinion. Also, the built-in reverb is not that great. And it's not that big of a deal for me because I use my own reverb and equalizer at the end of the day. Also, Action Strings 2 is at $2.99 at full price. So if you're going to be using the library as your ordinary other string libraries, just using these single articulations, then I wouldn't really recommend it for you because it wouldn't be worth it. Other libraries do that better already, and it's nothing special here in Action Strings. However, the real value of this library lies in its powerful engine. I think you noticed that I'm using the word plugin and library interchangeably throughout the video, and this is because I view Action Strings 2 as a tool. It's a composition tool that helps you write better music. And isn't that the point of using plugins in the first place? It drives you away from the cliche ostinatos that you hear in everyday trailer, hip-hop, or epic track. And you'd be surprised how many veterans use this library as a starting point to come up with memorable hooks and arrangements. Another value that is hidden in this library is how you can take advantage of the very fast phrases and the very mechanical articulations that are hard to pull off with other string libraries. And because no matter how good of a composer you are, like even the best MIDI wizards out there find it really hard to mimic the realism of these uncommon articulations. The real question here, is this really considered cheating? Yes, if you're copying and pasting the phrases as is into your compositions, then I would call it cheating, yes. And this is your music. You do whatever pleases you. However, this is not how I would use the library myself. A tool that helps me write better music shouldn't be viewed as cheating. So if you like this video and enjoy this type of content, make sure you subscribe. And also if you want to check out the library, I'll leave a link in the description below. So this was Mazen, and peace out.